Hi everybody. I wanted to talk about something, give my thoughts on Chau as to his death. Like going to visit a tribe that has been isolated for 60,000 years now. Yeah, I have to say that's probably the dumbest thing he's ever done, you know, and unfortunately he paid for it with his life. You know, I'd like to think that he's the only one that would be that arrogant to do it, but unfortunately he's not. There have been others that are just as arrogant as he is, but the thing about it is, not only did this, from what I found out, he bribed fishermen. He bribed fishermen to go onto the island. So what that means is he endangered the lives of other people. So that's pretty stupid in and of itself. You not only endanger your life, but you endanger the lives of other people just to convert a tribe, a peaceful. Well, I won't say exactly how peaceful they are if they fire arrows at you just for coming too close to it. But hey, you know, we can understand why they may not be so peaceful, because they want to be left alone. You know, they're only peaceful when they're left alone. But anyway, getting back to that, you break the law by bribing fishermen to take you to that island. You pay them like kind of poorly just to get them to go, and now because you bribed them into taking you to that island. I'm sorry, lost my train of thought for a minute. You bribed them into taking you to that island. Now they've been arrested just because they broke the law too. And all for what? To convert them to Jesus Christ, give them a Bible and some diseases that they would never have had if you hadn't shown up. That has got to be the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. And then you give them a football. You give them. I think it's fish and a football. What were you hoping for them to do? Convert to Christianity and somewhere down the road become football players or something like that? What is it? I don't get it. But the thing about it is, you were really stupid. Well, I can't really talk to you anymore, Chau, because you're dead. But people like Chau that have this sense of entitlement about going someplace where they don't belong, talking to people that don't want to be talked to or whatever, or communicated with or whatever, just so you can force an ideology on someone. That is really, really idiotic. That is one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard in my life, or I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. If you really wanted to go to lands where they're impoverished or whatever, why didn't you go somewhere where people needed help, really needed help, like food, medicine, clothing, things of that nature? Why didn't you do that? No, you know what it was. What it was, you wanted to go into the land and conquer. You wanted to conquer and colonize the people of that land and prove once and for all, I placed my flag on that island. Sorry, it's not on that island. Problem is, you don't really care. Sorry, I'm holding the camera wrong. I just want to make sure I'm not in anybody's way. But anyway, that was really stupid. I mean, you would have killed those people by just being in contact with them, because they'd never had one disease in 60,000 years, 70,000 years. Even if it were 5,000 years, they didn't have a disease. They didn't have a disease because they never met anybody from the outside world. The only time they ever caught disease is when there was a naval captain that took 2 or 3 members of the family to, I think, England or whatever it is. Maybe I have it wrong, but they took them out of their natural habitat, and guess what? They died quickly. They died very quickly. But hey, who am I to judge? You know. And now you have you have right-wing Christians saying, you know, that the boy shouldn't have died at the hands of savages or whatever. Well, here's the thing. You're right. He shouldn't have died, but guess what? And I'm going to be as blunt as I possibly can. He should have stayed his ass where he should have stayed his ass away from there. I can't put it any more bluntly, because what he did was stupid. And hey, he should have researched that. He should have researched that island. He should have researched that tribe. And you know what? Had he had done that, had he had researched that island and the people that lived on it, I don't think he would have been that anxious to go, considering that they've had perfect practice of killing people in over 60,000 years. I wouldn't have gone there, because I was raised growing up that, hey, you don't go into you just stay away from people that don't want any contact. Don't go to places where you don't belong. And I'll give you one example right now. 20 years ago, me and my cousin and her boyfriend were going to the fair, and we were looking for directions at this redneck bar. And the guy came out as soon as we pulled up to the parking lot. He came out of the door saying, "Go back where you came from." And this was 20 years ago. So we turned around and we left. Luckily, he didn't have a gun. But see, I think I know why people are being so bitchy about the fact that a certain segment of people are being so bitchy about the fact that this boy died, because they figure, well, hey, the island is inhabited by people of African descent, and you know, and plus they've made keeping strangers off their island, you know, pretty much famous for 60,000 years. And I guess they're thinking, like, how dare these people not want us to come to their island, give them diseases, and force religion on them? How dare they? Well, I know I'm babbling, but guess what? To be quite honest with you, I don't really, hey, I don't feel sorry for him dying, because he should have stayed his ass where he belonged. As far away from them as possible. I know one thing's for certain. If it were me, I would not have gone there. I would not have wanted to go there. I would not have cared to go there. And guess what? That's one of the reasons why I'm still here. But hey, all I can say is Chau, or Chau, whatever.